Hi everyone, it's me, David. I hope you're having a great day, and here is today's philosophical point. Epictetus Lists. I'm talking about the two lists that Epictetus gives us right after he makes the distinction between what is up to us and what is not up to us, which is commonly referred to as the dichotomy of control. In a later video, I'm going to talk about some of the problematic aspects of describing the issue at hand as being one of control. Today, I want to get into these two lists because I think they're very important for understanding what Epictetus is talking about. So, under the heading of what is up to us, he puts down several things. One of them is impulse, movement toward a thing. That's two ways of translating it. I would like to say will or willing. So it is up to us to will things. And I'll return to this matter in a moment. Other things that are listed are judgment, desire, and aversion. On the other hand, when we talk about what is not up to us, Epictetus gives us a number of things. He says, our reputation is not up to us, our possessions, they're not up to us, and our office or position, you could say, your job is not up to you. And the last thing that is listed is body. And I think that among the things that are not up to us, discussion of body is the one about which most people would have doubts. And I'll explain why in a moment. So what are these two lists doing there? What is their function? I think they are there just for the simple reason to give us some four examples of the distinction that Epictetus is making. And I think it's important to recognize this because I don't think these lists are intended to be exhaustive. There are many things that could be included on the list, but are not. And I'll give an example of something that I think is very important to put on one side or the other of this divide. So here are a couple things that are important in our lives, but he doesn't list, and they don't neatly fit under either in any of the categories listed. So, for example, what about your dog? What about your cat? What about your pet? You don't want to say that they are merely possessions, and it is true that we have a higher opinion of animals than the Stoics did. So it would seem like your dog or cat, that's not up to you. What else? Other human beings, your spouse, someone you live with, your siblings. So these are very important things in your life, and it's very important to be clear about the fact that none of them are up to you. Too many people think that this person is under my thumb. This person's under my control. They are up to me. And oftentimes that arrangement lasts for a while and even many years, but ultimately it comes apart and shows that person, no, they really were not up to you. They were not really under your control. It just seemed like that, and they were going along for one reason or another. Now, so here is the one that I think is the thing, as Epictetus describes all these different items. Action, which is the one that does deserve a good deal of scrutiny, and this is connected with the issue of body that I mentioned before. Is action under my control? Is action up to me? According to Stoicism, actually, it's not. And this is not just because, according to the Stoics, we have a soul, and that is a kind of entity that is distinct from the body, and actually separable from the body. So let's think about a kind of ordinary situation in which I can see that my action, the completion of an action, the full performance of the action is not up to me. So it's Saturday morning and I'm walking around and I see a building, let's say a school building, and I decide I want to go in. I want to learn something. And so I walk up to the door, and it is certainly up to me to will to open the door, but if the door is locked, then I can't complete the action. Now, it is true that if I really get to work on the door and try to open it again and again, maybe I'll wear out the knob. Maybe there's a way of me getting in, but that's a different story. But here's something that you might not have thought about when we talk about showing why your body is not up to you. And even if I have freedom of movement within my own room, my own office, there's a way in which I can will something, but I can be shown that it's really not up to me. Let's say I am comfortably sitting with one leg folded under another, working away on the computer, and I get so engrossed in what I'm doing, I lose track of time. And then when I say it's time for coffee, I try to get up, but I have a really bad cramp. So this shows me that even though I can clearly will to go start a pot of coffee, my body is not able. It is not up to me. Which tells us that every time I will something and my body moves with me, you could say there's a cooperation of causes in such a case, but then there are clear cases where there isn't such cooperation. A more striking case is someone who is a paraplegic. So they can will to stand up and go to the refrigerator, but actually it's not up to them in terms of their body cooperating. So I would say quite clearly that your action, in terms of completing an action you intend, that is one of the things that's not up to you. Now, I do understand there will be some people who say, well, everything I will, my body does. And I would say to that person, I think that you're not trying to do anything that difficult with your body, because if you try to do something difficult, such as a new kind of exercise or go for a run when you haven't in a while, you'll see that no, it's not up to you. And then after you work out for a while, you'll start to see that your body comes into a position of causal cooperation with your soul. But that'll take some time. So that's it for today. Like, subscribe, check out what I do below, and have a great day. It's up to you.